Now that we've successfully added the MySQL JDBC driver to our project, it's time for us to write a program so that we can connect to the MySQL database and download the information I imputed into the database. Let me remind you, the information is out here in my web browser, and this is my PHP admin. This is the information I'm talking about. We need to download this information using that program. And what I mean is we query it, not actually download. Alright, so now in order to do that, I need to write a certain class, a Java class, which we usually, a class that has fields that resemble these columns, okay? And they're gonna have getter and setter methods for the fields. Like I said, if you are new to Java, you are not going to understand what I'm saying, so you should refer to my Java beginners tutorials. But for those who understand what I mean, let's go ahead to Eclipse and write a Java class. So I'm going to create a class in Eclipse under the src. First of all, I need to create a package. I'm going to call this package 1. And I'm going to click on finish. I'm gonna right click and say new class, and I'm gonna call this class sales record, because I want an instance of this class to represent a sales record from the database table sales record. Okay, I want a sales record object to represent a row in the sales record table in the database. Hope you understand what I mean. So I'm gonna click on finish, and Eclipse gives me package 1 public class sales record. Now I'm gonna create fields that's gonna represent all these columns in the sales records table. So let's go ahead and create these fields. The first field I'm gonna create is the serial number. So I'm gonna type private int serial number. The next field I'm gonna create is private int invoice number. The next field I'm gonna create is private string description. Next field I'm gonna create is private double sales price. Next field I'm gonna create is private double amount paid. Next field I'm gonna create is private double quantity. Next field I'm gonna create is private double discount. Next field I'm gonna create is private string customer name. So now you can see all these fields that I've created. They're each gonna represent the columns that were created here in the sales record table. So like for example, the serial number column represents the serial number field in this sales record class. The invoice number column represents the invoice number field in the sales record class. The description column represents the description field in the sales record class, and so on. So all these fields have their representatives in the sales record class. So the sales record class is a valid class for an object that will represent each row in the MySQL table called sales record. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is to create a default non-argument constructor. So I'm going to declare that as public sales record. This constructor will be used to instantiate instances of this sales record class. We're not going to do anything much in it, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now the next thing I want to do is to create getter and setter methods for each and every of these fields. So it's either I type public int get serial number, and then public void set serial number, that kind of thing. But Eclipse has a nice way for us to generate getter and setter methods. To generate getter and setter methods in Eclipse, you simply right click on anywhere on the source code, and then you go over to source, and then you say generate getters and setters. So when you click on that, it's going to bring all the fields for you to select. I'm going to simply click select all, and I want all the getters and setters to be public, and I want it to be generated after the sales record constructor. Okay, so I want it to be sorted in the fields in getter stroke setter pace. Alright, so now that I've done that, if you don't really understand what I want, by the time I click on OK, you will see the output. So I'm going to click on OK now, and you can see I have getter and setters for each and every of the fields. Let's check it out. We have a get serial number for the serial number field. We have a set serial number for the serial number field. We have the get invoice for the invoice number field, and so on. Alright, so that's how to create a field for the sales record class. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to write a program that will query the database and use these fields to hold the certain information that are in the fields or the columns of this table. So see you on the next tutorial.